everyone. So another vlog today. Today is 15th of August. It's Tuesday. And I figured I'd do another vlog about what's going on today. So basically today is the same as any other day. Another day of forcing myself to live when I don't want to live, and another day of forcing myself with college subjects that, if you watched my previous video or one of my videos, college subject that it makes my life even a bigger living hell than it already is because of the programming. But yeah, of course I feel horrible today as every other day. I can't even put you into words. I can't show it in words how horrible I feel. And I'm a little bit tired today as well. But it's weird in my head, trust me. I can't put it into words. It's too much of things. Yeah. So I just wanted to share how much I suffer with this college thing. So what's my college thing? What am I even doing? The diploma thing. It's about philosophy. I'm in philosophy college, and I'm doing a comparative study between two philosophers. One German philosopher, Martin Heidegger, and his magnum opus, his greatest work, Being and Time. And the second philosopher that I have is Dōgen, Japanese Buddhist, zen-budhist monk, Dōgen Zenji. How do you say that? Zenji. And he has this book that it's called Shobogenzo, where he has like ton of essays in about how to get enlightened, then about monasteries and all these different things. And one of those essays that I am doing for this diploma, it's called Uji, and it's basically translated the same as being and time, because in Japanese U just means being and Ji means time, and Uji is then together as being time. And there are many translations that you have of that, but you know, that's a different story. So basically what I want to say is I've decided for this topic. Where is he? There he is. There we go. So I decided for this topic to do for diploma in 2018 already, because I experienced the dark night of the soul in that time period, and it deepened my consciousness. So it came to that I've come to the conclusion that I want to do that comparative study between Heidegger and Dōgen. And the way I had it imagined at that point is I wanted to be done with diploma till the end of 2019, and that's because I just wanted to do mostly that for my family. I wanted to show them that, because I'm a cycle breaker, I'm a black sheep of my family, and that's why my thinking was always to do something that no one in my family has ever done. And yeah, that thing didn't happen, but you know, that's a different story. But I'm still, you know, I'm still stuck with that same this diploma topic, and that's what I'm working on, and hopefully I'll be done in like a month or so. And I've made some progress yesterday. And the thing is, this topic is very cool, you know, and it just really sucks that I have to do it all alone, because it's really hard and no one really understands how much I suffer when I'm doing this thing, when I'm doing this, just doing this diploma thing, because both of them, you know, if you know Heidegger's work, you know that in Being and Time he has a different way of writing, and because of that he is hard to understand. And then you have Dōgen, he's an enlightened master, and he also has like so many of those phrases, passages that are hard to understand. So you put that together and you get a ton of mental breakdowns like I did. But you know, it doesn't matter how much of these mental breakdowns this thing gives me, which they suck, honestly, by the way. Certain things about philosophy really suck, and because of that I don't really want to do that a lot of days. Like today I don't really feel like doing anything philosophy related. It comes and goes like in waves. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much it sucks, and it is actually still a pretty cool topic, an interesting topic, and it would be nice if I just had someone with whom I could do this, so it would be much easier. Someone who would, as I said in one of the videos, that who would carry this pain with me. But instead of that, it's just me and by myself, and I have to figure out everything, even when I don't know, and when I actually don't know how to do this thing, you know. But you know, I'm trying every day different things, and eventually I make it through. But it's very hard to do everything by myself, and this is the last thing that I will be doing by myself, because in the future, hopefully in a few months, I don't want to be alone anymore, because I've had my share of being too much alone and having a million things to say and no one to say this to, and I hope this thing will fix itself. I hope things will get better. But yeah, as again, I have no one to say this to. If I say these things to my family, it's basically like I've said it to no one, because no one understands me. It's like talking to a wall. So they don't really make me feel that good about my problems. All of this diploma thing that I've done it in stages. First I've focused on Heidegger, and then I did that, and I have like pages on that. Then I focused on Dōgen, and now and I have pages on that. So it's like 6 and 6 pages, 18 of all the material together. And now I have these last 6 pages that I'm writing, and this comparative study, which I don't know how to do, but I'll find a way. And I have a book. It's an ebook PDF that I'm working with. It's from philosopher Steven Heine. He has done this comparative philosophy on those two thinkers. A book, it's called Existential and Ontological Dimensions of Being and Time, in Heidegger and Dōgen, I think, a long title. And basically, in this book, good book, explains everything about those two thinkers. But the thing is, it's a tricky thing, and for me, having a physical book, it's much easier to do notes than to have an ebook. So that's another challenge, because you just have to work with the head and read off the screen, which I'm not really a fan of, really not. And plus, the book is in English. All of the Dōgen content that I have, it's in English. It's not really much in my language. So I had to do all the translating, which was pretty hard, and I'm very good at English, as you can see right now. I talk English, but reading philosophy in English and then translating things, that's actually really hard. It actually isn't easy. and I did that for the whole Dōgen part, and now this Heine last part of comparison, I've done it, and that's a challenge. It really is a challenge. So yeah, this book, it's like 150 pages of content, and because I have mental problems, I don't really. This is a weird thing. If you study philosophy, and if you're like me, there are certain things in philosophy you just want to know, and you want to understand them, because if you understand certain philosophies, you know, it's kind of cool. And now that I have these terrible mental problems, my understanding about philosophy is different, and it's much worse than what it was years ago. And because of that, I don't really understand things that quickly, or I don't understand them. I kind of miss the point of philosophies, and that's kind of stupid in my opinion, because if you study certain philosophy things that you actually want to understand, right? Like, I don't mind understanding this diploma thing because it's interesting. And if you just miss the point about it, you know, it's kind of stupid thing. It's kind of like empty thing that you're doing. You miss the whole point, and then you never look at the text again. It's kind of like that with me, but not quite, you know, and I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, because of these mental problems, it's harder for me to understand what the hell, you know, it's in that book. And yeah, it causes me a lot of problems, a lot. But you know, I think through these things in million different ways, and slowly I'm understanding certain things, because these are heavy topics. And like few days ago, I understood something, so you know, that's progress, and I have certain ideas about how to go on in this thing. So yeah, I'm pretty, you know, I'm confident in this thing, that I will succeed, because it's so weird. It's been like 6 months or so when I was trying to write the beginning of this comparison, and I just couldn't do it, like the entry to that, and I wrote it like yesterday, and it's been like 6 months of trying. But it's not that I've been trying like every day, like, you know, every so now and then, but just, it's kind of like a writer's blockage. Sometimes you have inspiration, sometimes you don't, and sometimes you want to write but you don't have an inspiration. That really sucks. So it's a very bumpy road. Let's call it this diploma thing that I have. Very bumpy road, and it just feels like an impossible thing for me to do. Something like a mental barrier that I've met myself with, that I just can't do it. You know, there's limits to everyone, and for me, this topic seems to be a limit for me for many years now. And it's very weird to have this knowing that you can't do that. You know, that's the limit of your understanding. You just will never be able to do that, but you still try, and then somehow you manage to do it, and you go beyond what you thought you could. It's interesting, kind of, but at the same time very painful, very painful. And the same thing goes with me with German idealism. German idealism. How do you say? You know, Immanuel Kant, Hegel. What else do you have? Like Schlegel, Goethe, and you know, all these stupid assholes. That's philosophy, or like political philosophy. That's also something that doesn't work for me, because both of these topics are poison for the soul, and it has always been a problem for me. So that's, you know, we all have limits with things. Yeah, it is hard. It is very hard. I've been living with this since like 2019 or so. And every year I've been working on getting rid of this thing, but it just, it doesn't really work well for me. But hopefully this year, because it just really gets annoying to hearing the same old thing in your head again. And it's the same with my mental problems. I've been putting up with them for like 4 years now or so, and it's really annoying actually when you're annoyed, when you don't feel like putting up with your problems anymore. It's just, really sucks, and kind of when you don't want to do that, the last thing you want to do is talk about them because you're so annoyed about them. But the thing is, at the same time I still have a million things to say. So it's kind of a weird thing where you have a lot of things to say, but then at the same time, the things you have to say, you kind of don't want to talk about them because you're sick and tired of them, internally hearing them all the time. And then it's like you don't have anything to say. Kind of a paradox. But then basically, there's a lot going on the inside, even if it doesn't look that way. But yeah, I think that's it. It's another of the vlogs that I made up, that came to my head like yesterday before I went to sleep. It came to my head like, why not do a vlog about this college thing. So yeah, it's a comparative study between phenomenology and Buddhism, and it's pretty interesting. But it's just my path with this thing is not how I imagined, and I think I'm repeating myself already. It just really sucks. I can't even show you how much mental pain this thing causes me. The things that I had to do and I still have to do.